Welcome to the DoubleACS Daily News. Attleboro Mayor Cathleen DeSimone is advocating for a change in city governance by proposing that the elected roles of city treasurer and city collector be made appointed positions. DoubleACS spoke with her to learn more about her thought process behind the proposal.
It's been on my mind for some time that it would be beneficial to the city if we were to change the treasurer and collector from elected to appointed. And it's been on my mind for a while and for several reasons. And as mayor, those reasons have become even more clear. As elected officials in the city of Attleboro, where we have no recall provision, any of us, me, the treasurer, collector, we could all take off to Bermuda for 6 months, and there would really not be much at all that the residents could do about it. You could also be totally incompetent at your job. People can't do anything about it. There's a high potential for errors or other intentional acts, particularly in the office of treasurer, where millions of dollars goes around and around, in and out. And with the financial world becoming only more complex, I think it's important to try to have somebody in there with some kind of finance or banking background. And because right now, all you have to do is be 18 and a city resident. Collector the same way. The collector is responsible for generating or bringing in most of the revenue to the city. You miss a date, you don't get the bills out. That's huge. It's a huge liability. So anticipating the next municipal election coming up in 2025, I decided, well, you know what? I'm going to send it down to the council and ask them to amend the charter via a special act, which means the council approves it, I sign it, we send it to the state legislature, and if they approve it, it becomes effective. Most municipalities in the Commonwealth that had elected treasurers and collectors have switched to appointed. We are in the minority. I have a letter from the Department of Legal Services and the Department of Revenue that supports my position that it's a good idea to hire experienced professionals for these roles. It would give the city council would be able to define the positions by ordinance. You could put term limits in terms of if it's an appointed position for 3 years or whatever. They would be subject to removal. People are concerned that, yeah, great, so the mayor gets to hire who he or she wants and fire them if they don't do what the mayor wants. That's not the case. In the city, let's say I wanted to hire a new treasurer, appoint a new treasurer. My appointment would be subject to council confirmation, and they would, compare that person to the job requirements and the ordinance that they created and confirm. If I were to fire that person would have a right to a hearing before the municipal council, and even though they don't decide, they don't make the decision on the appeal, that person could lay out their case for, this is, I'm being fired because the mayor asked me to do something I wouldn't do, blah, blah, blah. So there are checks and balances here, as I said. The concern isn't someone who's clearly unqualified. That's easy, right? Most people will sniff that out. My concern is someone who's actually a sophisticated politician who may have some credentials and run for the position with little or no financial experience or collecting experience and get the job and immediately, whether through incompetence or intentional acts, do something that really hurts the city. That's kind of the nightmare scenario. I think it's the right decision right now. I thought it was a fair question to ask and in the best interest of the city, but right now it's in the council's hands as to how they proceed. So right now, I don't know how it's going to go, to be honest with you. But I think I made the best case I could for why we should.